So I wanted to touch on the TJ Watt situation because I have come across different articles as I've been reading about the Packers that suggest the Packers could be a landing spot for TJ Watt. And so if you are unaware what's currently going on with TJ Watt and the Steelers, in the past week he posted a picture on social media of him in his Steelers jersey with a peace sign. And so of course people took that and came up with theories and ideas of what could be going on. But it came out here from Mark Kaboly, who covers the Steelers. He said after talking to people, I'd keep an eye on this Steelers TJ Watt contract situation moving forward a little more closely. It doesn't appear that the IG picture below he posted yesterday was just by chance. I'd imagine an extension is still going to eventually get done, but the price tag just might be a tad bit higher than some anticipated. So currently TJ Watt has one more year in his contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He will be a free agent after the 2025 season. And so it looks like right now the Steelers are in contract talks with TJ Watt. And with that being the case, and with Kaboly here saying that this is something that maybe people should pay attention to, it does make you wonder, why is TJ Watt posting a picture with him leaving, peace sign? And so that, of course, led to people speculating that maybe he could be traded. I just think that when we look around the NFL this offseason, the past couple off seasons, when players get into these contract discussions, it just feels like nowadays, because of social media, because of the response happens when these guys post cryptic things like this, I do think it can put some pressure on their organization in these contract discussions. Now, I don't think it necessarily is the reason that these contracts necessarily get done quicker, but it does. The players do have some kind of outlet to try to force their hand, if you could say. And so we saw with Brandon Ayuk last offseason, made it look like he was trying to get traded elsewhere. We also had it with Myles Garrett this past offseason, in the past few months, saying he wanted to get traded away from the Cleveland Browns. And then, of course, he signs a $40 million per year deal with the Cleveland Browns. And so my guess in this situation is that the Steelers end up sticking with TJ Watt. And, of course, if you're the Packers, and as Packers fans, a lot of us have wanted the Packers to make some kind of big-time move, especially when it comes to edge rusher, just because it was one of those positions that was more inconsistent just overall in the season for the Packers and for their defense. And so, of course, we were touching on the potential of Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and it would have been cool, but both of those guys ended up getting their own extensions, and now it looks like TJ Watt probably wants similar money to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's also 30 years old, just like TJ Watt. And so my guess is this is TJ Watt's strategy or attempt to potentially, try to get more money from the Steelers. Maybe right now they're not quite on the same page when it comes to what they think he should be paid going forward. But I just don't see TJ Watt ending up elsewhere. Of course, I would love to see the Packers trade for him. If it was, maybe a second round pick, something like that. He's still an elite pass rusher, and the Packers could definitely use him. I just think looking at some of the Brian Gutekunst quotes and seeing what they did in free agency, I don't think that Gutekunst thinks they need to go make some big splash move for an edge rusher, even though it would be cool. And I really don't feel like TJ Watt is going to go anywhere. If you look at some of the history in the past few months of what the ownership has said, what TJ Watt has said, I think eventually they're going to figure things out because TJ Watt is such a big part of their organization. But here's from Steelers owner Art Rooney in the past couple months, per DeFabo, I think it is. He said, so Rooney said, that's something we want to look at this offseason. TJ has been one of the foundations of the defense for quite a number of years now, and certainly hope we can have TJ for the future beyond this year. So the owner has said they want him beyond this year. Then here we have from on X, Dale Lowley said, Steelers GM Omar Khan on the big contracts being given around the NFL to edge rushers and what this means for TJ Watt. Quote, I'll just say that I'm very hopeful that TJ will finish his career as a Steeler, end of quote. And then from Brooke Taylor in the past few months on X says, TJ Watt eligible for a contract extension this summer, says he doesn't want to play anywhere else. Quote, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't want to leave this place. I want to be a part of the solution, not leave here and go somewhere else. That's not my intention at all, end of quote. And so I feel like the likely scenario is that TJ Watt and the Steelers do come to some kind of agreement before the season starts. Of course, there's always a chance things go south. Back in the day, Aaron Rodgers had made it public that he wanted to be a Packer for life, and that did not happen. So it's not to say that things can't go south and the Steelers and Watt can't come to a point where they want to have a trade happen. I just don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like more than not, when players come out publicly and whether it's a cryptic post or being honest and saying they want to get a trade, lots of times it does end up, maybe benefiting them when it comes to contract extensions. So I don't think the Packers are going to trade for TJ Watt. I think that it would be awesome, of course, but I don't think this is going to end up going anywhere. But those are my thoughts. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.